Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing false claims to U.S. citizenship, voting, and deportation. I actually thought of making this video after watching a recent video, a little clip I found on Twitter from Colonel Douglas McGregor talking about the issues of illegal immigration and how it can dilute the vote in the United States. It's quite an interesting little clip. I urge those who are watching this, maybe go click on that. It's in the description below. You can check that out. That said, it got me to thinking of something which is a major ground of inadmissibility in the United States and an immediate ground for deportation is false claims to U.S. citizenship. And this is something that can definitely come up in the context of voting. What am I talking about here? Well, I went a little further and did a deep dive over on nolo.com. That's NOLO.com. Under Overview of Consequences of False Claims to U.S. Citizenship, how falsely claiming to be a U.S. citizen can make you deportable. You can lose your green card by claiming to be a U.S. citizen before it's true, such as by registering to vote in U.S. elections. So this is this could become an issue moving forward in the United States. Quoting further, someone who falsely claims to be a U.S. citizen in order to obtain a benefit under U.S. federal or state law, so that's federal or state law, so presumably federal or state voting, can become removable, deportable from the United States. A person may be placed into removal proceedings even if the false claim was made unintentionally. So it's specific intent here. It doesn't matter if the person intended to do it. If they falsely claim U.S. citizenship even unintentionally, that's a ground for deportation. Or to certain private parties administering a government benefit. It is very serious to be charged with making a false claim of citizenship. A person who is deported on this basis becomes permanently inadmissible, meaning unable to legally return to the United States. Furthermore, there is no waiver. So there's no I-601 waiver out there available for false claims of U.S. citizenship. I'll get into a story regarding that here in a minute. No waiver available for false claims to U.S. citizenship, and there is limited relief from removal available to non-citizens who lie to obtain government benefits. Well, again, if the issue of illegal voting is something that people are serious about, the consequences for anyone caught illegally voting is immediate deportation and inadmissibility to the United States for the rest of their lives. So to my mind, that seems to be the remedy, or at least a remedy at law, to deal with illegal people or illegal aliens in the United States voting illegally in elections. That would be a big one, quite frankly. Now, I've actually dealt with this before. We had somebody contact us years ago. This was when I was involved with much deeper, more complex U.S. immigration matters than, quite frankly, I deal with presently, although every once in a while we pick up a complex case with U.S. immigration. But it turned out this person, it had gotten basically a traffic citation in the U.S., and the officer who made the citation, for whatever reason on the ticket, there was a checkbox to say U.S. citizen. And that officer actually checked the box that said that the person was an American. It turned out that person was not an American. They were a green card holder. This was used against them, and we were unable to get a waiver. There is no waiver of inadmissibility for false claims to U.S. citizenship. The actual officer who made the citation recanted it and said, look, I made an error. It was just a mistake. That person assumed the person they were dealing with was an American, and they changed it, basically. They corrected themselves, and therefore that person was no longer inadmissible to the U.S., and we were able to get that person a visa to go back. But long story short, anybody who is claiming falsely U.S. citizenship in order to undertake a benefit like voting can become immediately deportable from the United States and is not going to be able to get a waiver of inadmissibility in order to return.